Check. If y'all online, type that in for me. Type in the chat. Last on Wednesday, YouTube had a national, I don't know what you want to call it, a power outage, outage, whatever the hell they had on YouTube. You know what I mean? But it passed or whatever like that. We should be up and running today. Y'all missed Wednesday's class though. Y'all want to look at it? Y'all can look at it on the page. It should be on the page still. All right, we're already 15 minutes behind. Questions? Comments? Questions and comments. If y'all on the class right now, log in with your name. Put your name in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the chat. Not thumbs up in the chat, but get a video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video. All right. We're going to get into the topic. The topic of the day is discipline. All right. Topic being discipline. That's what we're going to do. Give me Hebrews 12:5. Hebrews 12:5.
Sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 5. Akim got it. And ye have forgotten the exhortations speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastisement of the Lord, nor faint.
Ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. What does that mean? Unless you are good. Bakari, you got an idea what that means? You know what exhortation means?
So you're gonna Google it.
Say again?
Google it.
You can Google it. If y'all in the chat, y'all can type it in too. Give me what exhortation mean. We in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 5. We're going to cover discipline.
Concert. Exhortation, an address or communication. Emphatically urging someone to do something.
That's exhortation.
Encourage, similar. Encouragement and urgent.
To exhort. Hold on, give me one second. I'm gonna give you the older definition. If you leave it to your oppressor will just constantly just change everything around you. Lord of grace up. Lord of grace. 1 second. To incite by argument on vice, to urge strongly. Right? To urge strongly. So read verse 5 again.
God.
You got your headpiece on? Headpiece on.
And ye have forgotten the exhortation, which speak unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Lord.
1 second. Remember the Adidas jacket, dog. It's not One West. Is it too cold in here for you?
No, it's cold outside.
All right, no, so you want to make sure that you take the jacket off. I know you just got in here, but you got to make sure you take the jacket off. Read 5 again.
God. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Rebuked.
Rebuke.
Right. You have forgotten the exhortation, the strong urge which speak unto you as unto children, my son. Now, it's not giving me exhort. Let me see. It's not giving me what I want from exhort. It used to excite, insight. You have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as children, my son. I mean, if you've forgotten something that incited you or something that, if exhortation is an urge to do something, you've forgotten what gave you that urge as a child. What urged the child to do something? Urges a child to do something. Why does a child act correct in school? Why does a child not be disrespectful in the home? Why does a child be a good child? Adunya?
Promise of gift.
Say again?
Promise of giving a gift.
Wow, that's what you get it wrong with your children. If your child only act right because you told him you're gonna get him a new PS5, you have you're getting extorted. You understand? You are getting extorted. You are being led astray, bamboozled. Your child is leading you to believe that as long as you buy him gifts, he will act right. I mean, sooner or later, those gifts won't mean nothing. It'll be something bigger. It'll be something bigger. Somebody at the door. It's probably Kashak. He don't know how to ring a doorbell. You know, he's from the ghetto. Kashak don't know how to ring a damn doorbell. Good.
So okay, because that's how they are taught.
Okay. No. Okay. Now I'm gonna start y'all off. I'm gonna ask y'all some more questions along the way. The father figure, the mother figure, right? The threat of discipline makes that child get straight A's in school or A's and B's in school. That's how it's supposed to be. Now I know nowadays that might seem foreign to a lot of us because a lot of our children, a lot of us as children, a lot of us, we just, I'm not going to get good grades regardless of what my father say, regardless of what my mother say. Grades is not, it's not what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? That's a lot of us today. That's a lot of our children today. So the scripture may not seem like it hit home, but what really motivates a child is the fear of his father. The fear of his father coming home and chastising him or disciplining him for not obeying Adunya. What's that box? You're gonna sit that over here, or presumably off in the corner over there. What makes a child act correctly is that discipline. Put everything in that corner. That discipline that he knows is coming by his father if he keeps getting those calls from the school. You understand? If the people in the neighborhood keep telling the father that the child is acting up, the child knows that he's going to get disciplined or chastised. That is what causes your child to act correctly, right? Read on. It's Hebrews 12:5.
Sir.
Read it again from my son, so I'll cover that second part.
My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord.
Don't despise the chastening of the Most High. When the Most High corrects you, the Most High is correcting you for a very good reason. If you were in a Christian church, 1 second. If you were in a Christian church and your sons, you're a woman in a Christian church, you have 6 sons and 4 of them are dead to the streets, that must mean you have failed as a parent. You understand? You must have failed as a parent and not provided your children what they needed to survive in the world. You understand? You could not steer your children in the right direction. If you are anywhere, if you're in a mosque, if you run in the world, if you're a politician, and the things you do fail, the proof is in the pudding. The proof meaning you were not chastised properly by your parents. The Lord chastised you means you were doing something incorrect. Your sons keep dying in that street. That means that the Lord does not want you in that church. That church is not what's saving your sons' lives. A lot of you women have been in the church 40 years, and for 40 years, all your relatives have been dying. Y'all have been a church-going family since the 1800s, and y'all cannot escape high blood pressure, y'all can't escape cancer, y'all can't escape diabetes, and y'all can't escape your oppressor, because the church is not somewhere that the Lord is with. So the Lord is constantly chastising you to let you know that it's not somewhere you go, because he loves you. You understand? The Lord is chastising you because he loves you. When your father whoops you, here's the hypocrisy. When your father as a child, a lot of us didn't get this benefit, but ideally, when your father as a child disciplines you or beats you or whoops you or punishes you, you don't view that as, I'm gonna hate my father forever, or my father can't be that can't be a father that I want. Right? You don't do that. But when it comes to the Most High, you say, if the Most High hates certain actions, if he hates sinning, if he doesn't want you smoking, he doesn't want you popping pills, he doesn't want you selling drugs, sleeping with whores, being in church, that means that's a God you can't follow, because that God shouldn't hate. But when your father whoops you, you don't look at that as, I should hate my father. That is hypocrisy. You understand that? Your father takes on the exact same role that your supreme father does, or that the almighty father does. You understand? That father chastises you, and your biological father chastises you. You don't take that same tone with your biological father due to Christianity, because you can see him. You understand? You can see him. You believe only what you can see. When people who are righteous, men who are righteous, walk by faith, not by sight alone. You understand? That's in the scriptures. Read on.
Cancer, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Rebuked.
Nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Meaning, don't faint when the Most High rebukes you, especially in the truth. Read 6, get into it.
Cancer, from
Go.
whom the Lord loveth thee, chasteneth, discourages every son,
And scourgeth.
and scourgeth every
Give me the
son,
definition of scourge. Go ahead, continue.
every son who he receives.
Whom he receiveth. For the Lord loveth who he chastises. So don't faint when the Most High rebukes you. You understand? You out getting shape ups, man, and you know you shouldn't be getting no damn shape up. And the Most High, the barber damn near cut a chunk of your flesh off. Don't be sitting there like, oh, don't faint. Don't think that, oh, the Most High hate me. The Most High, he wanted to cut my damn head off. He tried to take a chunk out my body. And man, the Most High chastised you because he loved you. You understand? You deal with whores. He might put you on child support because he love you. He might put you on child. He might allow the government to put you on child support to let you know to never make this mistake again. You understand? Like child support, y'all understand it when I bring it to that level, because every brother knows you get put on child support. That is like a wake up call to never do what the hell you did again. You understand? You slept with something you couldn't trust, got it pregnant, and now you are out of pocket every week for 18 years. Every week for 18 years, you are out of pocket. That is a wake up call for at least 18 years straight that you should never make that same choice again. Now you should know that that comes from the Lord. That is not the government teaching you a lesson. Don't let the government be your daddy. The government isn't teaching you. Don't go to jail to learn your lessons. People say they went to jail, they came out a better man. Don't let jail be the thing that teach you discipline. Let the Lord teach you discipline. It's much safer. You understand? You have a father that loves you, that teaches you discipline, versus your enemy who masks attempted genocide as teaching you discipline. 2 million in jail, 75 cents, 25 cents to make a McDonald's uniform per hour in jail. It's not teaching you discipline. You understand? That's not teaching you discipline. That is teaching you that I want you dead. I want you to stay in jail. When you make mistakes, this is what I do to you. I do these things to you. There's a difference. There's a difference of you messed up, and now I'm going to show you something to remind you to never mess up again, versus I'm going to habitually punish you and terrorize you for the rest of your life and terrorize your children for the mistakes you made, which is what your oppressor did. Your oppressor took advantage of the fact that you sinned against the Most High, and not only did he enslave you, your oppressor took away all of your money, took away all of your jobs, took away your culture, told you women to be whores and sluts, put you in jail by the millions, and when you go to jail, the statistic that you're going to go back is through the roof. Go to jail one time. The statistics of somebody that goes to jail once and is a repeat offender is through the roof. I mean, once they get you in that system, y'all know what I'm talking about. You stay in the system. Meaning you keep going back. They're not teaching you a lesson. Their job is to just habitually incarcerate you, take away your rights, make you feel less of a man to further their agenda. When the Most High's agenda, his whole goal is just to make you realize where you messed up at. That's his whole agenda. He doesn't have an agenda that serves him and only him. His agenda serves him and it serves you. Your oppressor's agendas only serve him. All right. Read on. Who got a scourgeth? Yeah, the microphone. You need to pass that microphone around like a loose hog. Good. Good.
Scourge is whip someone as a punishment. Am I
To
getting it right?
whip someone as a punishment. He chastises and whips every son whom he receiveth. Meaning, throughout your tenure in the truth, you are going to be chastised some way, somehow, right? You cannot avoid it. You can't avoid chastisement. Let me tell you how a man would avoid chastisement: by never having a problem with anybody. You just agree with everything and nothing bothers you. Everything is yes. You're just a yes man. You understand? You're just a yes man. When in reality, you're going to have clashing personalities throughout your life. You're not going to agree with everything everyone says. I'm not talking about doctrine when I say this, including in the truth. You're going to have different opinions with brothers in the truth. You're going to have different opinions with people in the world. You can't allow that to just make you a yes man. Allow that to just get trampled over. Like the last council or two councils ago, when the general said, his brother's getting treated horribly by the men over them, and y'all don't report it, so nothing gets done. You just become a big yes man. You understand? You become a huge yes man, and everything is just come on. When you in your head, you feel like he's disrespecting you. You understand? You feel like he's disrespecting you. He's not talking to you on a man-to-man level, but instead, you hide your cowardice, being a coward, behind Kana Wakan. You understand? Like I say Kana Wakan because I agree with the order. I don't say Kana Wakan because I'm scared of what's going to happen if I disagree with something. You understand the difference? Do not say Kana Wakan if you scared what's going to happen if you disagree. You say Kana Wakan because you have honor. You honor that man. You look up to that man. Or that man is a figure in the school who was an officer that you should listen to. He's telling you something righteous. That's when you say Kana Wakan. You understand? Something that benefits you, benefits your life. A man that would never steer you wrong. You feel like someone is disrespecting you. You do not say Kana Wakan. You talk to him in a manner you would talk to your father if he's above you, or if you talk to a brother if he's same rank or lower than you. You understand? The point is, discipline is also in the way how you carry yourself in the school. All right, that's also a part of chastisement. A man above you might tell you doing something wrong. I stop doing this. That is weak. That is weak. He might say things like that. Let me tell you something. And when y'all, I'm gonna get into it more with these scriptures. But when y'all do things like, when I say y'all, anybody in the school, or any man, period. When someone is correcting you and your response is, oh, but, yeah, I'm just saying, but, that is weak. That is weak. If you can't just take the correct, like if you disagree, don't say kind of on con, but. You understand? It's not kind of on con, but. You disagree, say, well, sorry, I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with this because blah, 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 blah. And you can have a discourse with him as a man would have a discourse. You understand? You can have a conversation and a disagreement with a man the way you could with anybody else. You understand? That is 100% possible in the truth. Don't let being in the truth make you think that you are a yes man. You came in the truth. You questioned everything. You said Christ is black. We got to follow the law. I can't smoke weed. You questioned everything. Don't come in the truth and then come in here and become one of us. And then now you just a yes man. Now you a yes man who gets trampled over, and you secretly hate the man you're taking orders from, or you secretly hate one of your brothers because you become a huge yes man. You understand? When in reality, that is a you problem. I'm not going to check him. You understand that? Like, I'm not the man you have a problem with. I'm not going to check him. You're the one who is weak. You're being weak. He should not treat his brother like that if he is incorrect. But you are being weak for not addressing him. Remove them waters for that brother. Adanya, let that brother sit there. You are being weak for not coming to that man. And I will not step in on your behalf and say, oh, it seems like you and such have a problem. That is not how this goes. Read verse 7. Read verse 7.
Verse 7. If ye endure chastening, God deal with you as swap. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with son.
Mm-hmm.
For what son is he whom the father chasteneth not?
What son has not been corrected by his father? You're going to sit here and lie to yourself and say you've done if you had your father in your life, you cannot say you sat here and did everything right and your father never yelled at you, scolded you, beat you, punished you. You can't say that, right? You can't say that. And a lot of us say we need fathers in the black community, but you don't even know why you're saying it. Because if you say, let me tell you something, 2020, you beat your child, there's a good chance in public, there's a good chance you go to jail. You understand? You will go to jail. There's a very high chance you go to jail if you beat your child in 2020, or if you beat him in your house and the child calls the cops on you. You understand? There's a chance you go to jail. So you're going to say we need more fathers in the household, but you don't even know why you're saying we need more fathers in the household. You have no clue that the father's job is to chasten. And when a father truly loves his son, he will punish him in whatever means he sees fit. Now, of course, don't skin them, don't skin them alive. But whatever way he sees fit, whatever punishment he deems fits the crime, is the way that father would chastise that son. And to allow the government to step in and stop things like that is one of the main problems in the black community. By allowing women to call the cops and your child and DIFUS to come on behalf of the child, in most cases, which is garbage in our community. In our community. I'm not speaking on any heathens. Lord knows they abuse their children. But if you are beating your child, there's a good chance your child should be beat. And we're going to get into the scriptures where the Lord says you should not spare the rod. You should whoop your child if it deserves it. Read verse 8.
But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons?
Then are ye bastards and not sons. I mean, if the Lord never chastised you, if he never got you locked up for selling that weed, like you think the whole time, let me tell you why you kept going to jail in the world. The Lord was trying to tell you stop doing what you was doing. You see how ignorant we are, how stiff-necked we are. We think that's just we finally got caught up by the cops. We think, the cops just finally caught us and this is how it happened in the streets. The Lord been trying to tell you to stop doing things. You understand? When that bullet whistled by your head, he was trying to tell you stop doing what you're doing. The next time it could hit your head. You went to jail when you was fighting 25 and you got out, or you took a plea for 7. He was telling you next time you might not get out because your oppressor's that serious about killing you. He's that serious about locking you down. The Lord been trying to tell you things. He been trying to show you, I'm only doing this for your benefit. I want you home with your sons. I want you home with your women, with your children, with your family, with your brothers. I want you to enjoy your life on this earth because the earth was made for your sake. But if you continue to disobey me, I must continue to chastise you. You understand? And you have to take the same tone with your children. You want your children to not make any of the mistakes that you made. You don't simply tell them, hey, look, man, you probably shouldn't do that. And then let the world dictate how your child's life is ran. Let your child go to school and learn everything he learned in school and be like, yeah, man, they teaching crazy things in school. But you're not counter teaching your child at home. Meaning your child is going to get taught, especially in New Jersey. Your child, what is it? It is mandatory now in every school in New Jersey to teach LGBTQ. It is mandatory. It is mandatory for every public school to teach LGBTQ in New Jersey. I think the first state was California. Jersey happened like 2018. This is old. Jersey happened like 2018. So now when your teenager goes to learn about sex education, which was supposed to be how she could possibly get pregnant, which is why she has to be smart, how he could possibly get someone pregnant, which is why he has to be smart. What used to be knowledge about that turned into if Dave wants to sleep with Mike, if Sarah and Lily want to sleep together. That's what it turned into. You understand? If a man wants to experiment, if a woman wants to experiment, it is okay. How you should accept a man who is bisexual, accept a woman who is bisexual, how you should accept these things. That is what your child is now getting taught at age 14, 15, when they go into high school, freshman, sophomore year. This is what they're now being taught. And if you are not counter teaching at home, then what discipline are you really having for your child? You can't say you stand against America and not dedicate your life to discipline. Discipline is everything in accord to getting out of this country. You don't want to be in America. You must keep a certain decorum, a certain discipline is necessary for you to keep. You have to. You have to. Your daughter will go to school at 14 and your teacher or her teacher, will tell her that she can sleep with whatever woman she feels like sleeping with because it's her body, her choice. And if she gets pregnant by a man, that teacher will tell her it is her body, her choice. She can abort that baby as well. That is definitely going to happen. I'm not telling you if or maybe, it is law. Meaning even if the teacher doesn't want to teach it, the teacher has to teach it if they want to be a public school teacher in New Jersey. In that field, in that public, that sex education field. So what must you do? You must get that much more serious about the work you do. So the same way the law is trying to chastise you with sending you to jail, getting you arrested, having bullets whizzed by your head, having you pay child support. You understand? Getting you robbed. You understand? He played a part in that. He let Satan do what he do. He let Satan do it. You understand? He let him do it. And if you want to combat all of these things, discipline is of the utmost. You cannot shy away from it when it is your turn to receive it. Read on.
Verse 9.
Come. Y'all gotta remember where y'all left off at, good?
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us.
What I said earlier, good?
And we gave them reverence.
You reverence him. You understand? So many sons grow older. Now, for the ones of us who were fortunate enough, depending on what you call fortunate, because a lot of these men, it's just not men. Sometimes you was better off with no father in the house. Fortunate enough to have a father in the house, we gave them reverence. You understand? So if you failed in school and he whooped you, you may have cried, you may have thought about running away, but you wasn't stupid, right? You wasn't stupid enough to try something like that. Or maybe you just, didn't like him for the moment, right? You didn't like him for the moment. You still reverenced him. When it came time to it, you still said, that's my father. So why, when it comes to the Most High, when he chooses to arrest you, or if he chooses to have a bullet whizzed by your head, or if he chooses to have your family and friends die, or if he chooses misfortune to allow Satan to have misfortune fall upon you, do you disown the Most High and say, God can't be real? There can't be a God. If there's a God and he acts like this, I don't want that God. I'm going to choose my own God. Of course, this is how you go into the rock God and white Jesus God. You understand? Of course, this is how you go into those gods. And you say, I don't want a God that's not all love. when your father wasn't all love? It says right here in the scripture. Read it again.
Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence.
Read on.
Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirit and live?
If you respected or you honored or you revered that father who whooped you because you got a damn D or an F, or you stayed out till 2 a.m, he told you to be back by 9, you reverenced him. How much more should you reverence the Father of spirits? That father whoops your body, he whoops you, leave a little whelp, a little red mark, whatever like that, little raise in the skin, be all right. Your heavenly Father can kill you. How much more should you follow him? How much more should you revere him? Respect him. Understand when he chastises you, it is but nothing for you. It is for nothing but your benefit. How much more should you realize that all of the much more? However, your father whoops you, you love him. The Most High sends you to jail. You say, this can't be God. I don't want to serve a God that'll send me to jail. I don't want to serve a God that'll let my people die. If God, this is very common amongst like the Hotep community, which is why they'll tell you they don't believe in a Jesus or a God. They'll tell you, if God is real, why did he allow slavery? Why did you disobey? Stop thinking like a woman. You know what a woman says? Woman says, why didn't you just buy it from me? Why didn't you just act right? Why are you thinking like a woman? Why you put me in? Why'd you allow me to go into slavery? Why didn't you just listen? You understand that? Don't go to jail and become a woman. Don't find out that Anubis was a fake dog god, get into Hotep, and now all of a sudden you become a woman. Don't do that. Don't do that. Realize that a father corrects his child. If you would have a son and never beat him, and I know men like this, so this is a real thing that's happening. I won't beat my child. My parents beat my parents beat me, and I hated them for it. It's because you're weak. That doesn't mean that beating your child doesn't work. That means you was just going to hate your parents regardless. You wanted to hate them. You don't hate them because they beat you. You hate them because they didn't let you stay out all night. There's pedophiles and people who molest on the streets. There's gangs they didn't want you to get into. You understand? But you're going to cry and you want to weep because your parents didn't let you stay out till 2 a.m. Because your parents didn't let you go to that damn house party. So you're not going to beat your child. Mawasar, you want the microphone whenever you're going to speak up.
Yeah, concept. I mean, no discipline. The government teaching us not to discipline our kids. I mean, our children. It's not. Not to discipline our children, and things is turning out worse and worse and worse. Right? I heard a story out in Patterson, the city where I'm from, where a certain individual at my slave told me that a brother took so many mollies and so much K2. He was in the house with his mother, right? And it was friends around. And they was all, chilling, having a good time. But before you know it, because the drugs got to his brain, he looked at his mother and said, Mommy, you got some good looking lips.
Yeah, I mean, what else do you expect from drug addicts? That's what you expect from a drug addict. And you're going to raise a drug addict because you're afraid to punish him. You're afraid to stop your child from going outside at 2 a.m. What do you think they're doing at 2 a.m? Drugs. They're doing drugs at 2 a.m. You think this sounds like a cliche? Do I sound like a one of those damn posters hung up in a child's school? Don't do drugs. War on drugs. I forgot what that damn poster is. It used to be catchy as hell though. I sound like a poster in a child's school. It's because it's true. When your child is out at 2 a.m, your child is doing drugs. He's doing drugs. Because the person who is ruling over you is pushing drugs in the black community. Pillheads don't become pillheads overnight. You understand that? Pillheads do not become pillheads overnight. They say weed is a gateway drug. And man, when I was a weed head in the world, man, I used to, man, weed ain't no gateway drug. I smoke all this weed, man. I ain't never do no damn coke. Weed is a gateway drug. Weed is the drug that's going to allow you to think drugs aren't drugs. Weed is the drug that is going to make you think drugs are part of life. Drugs help you. Drugs alleviate stress. That is the drug that does it. The drug that opens you up, brother, it's a real rise happening right now with DMT, shrooms. Everyone is taking shrooms. They're taking shrooms and saying everyone should take, and I mean, it's like it's becoming accepted. Oh, and while we on it, why for bringing that up? While we talking about disciplining your child and your child doing drugs because you're not disciplining your child and stop being scared of beating them. You know, Oregon just legalized crack. Oregon legalized cocaine as a recreation. Let me pull it up. I don't want to misspeak in any tone. Let me not say legalized. Let me use the proper term. Let me use the proper term. I gotta use the proper term. It's YouTube. If y'all ain't noticed, everything getting brought. They got the fact checkers on YouTube. The fact checkers are a group of people. We know. I'm gonna get into it, but they have a group of people that scroll through everything on social media sites and YouTube. And if the fact checker group, who knows who the hell is behind that, deems it a lie, they take you down. So let me be correct in how I say this. Oregon decriminalizes possession of hard drugs. Right? And of course, 4 other states legalize marijuana. What does that mean? If you get caught with it, it's not a crime. I got a cousin who just got caught. I don't know why he did this, but his pockets was about this big full of coke, walking around the projects in Newark. I don't know why he did that. But the cops caught him. Now, his defense could be, you didn't catch me with intent to sell. Right? You didn't catch me with intent to sell. Now, the definition of a crime is what? Y'all might not know this. When you run through the law a little bit, you look into crime. Crime means I did something that harmed somebody else. A violent crime. I did something that harmed somebody else. That's things that's supposed to go to court. You know, that's what's supposed to go to court, right? Not like a traffic ticket. That's not supposed to go to court. If y'all don't know that. Me carrying coke does not impact the crackhead. You can't prove I sold him the coke, which is the whole reason, if y'all don't know, why they have sting operations, and PIs. It's the whole reason. Because they need to catch you in the act, or at least enough evidence that you had intent to sell. Meaning they can act as a potential buyer and, of course, arrest you right when the transaction going down, right? They have to catch you with that. Meaning the violent crime is not violent unless you're doing it to somebody else. He was caught with that much crack, that much coke in his pocket, that much coke. It is now decriminalized. Of course, this is after what? Can you guess what happened to make them decriminalize narcotics? Like, who was it? Nixon or Reagan? The war on drugs. Reagan. The war on drugs was started specifically for black people. It's not a mystery. Because white people was doing shrooms and smoking weed at the same time. But opium and all that wasn't too big over there, meaning all over the news and destroying the entire damn neighborhood. They was doing it because Lord knows they was the customers providing the most money. But their neighborhoods wasn't destroyed because of it. So, of course, the war on drugs targeted black people. Why did they decriminalize narcotics? Why is it no longer a crime for you to just, you just have it in your pocket now? And why are black people still going to go to jail for intent to sell? Understand that they catch you with that coke in your pocket, they will charge you. And they're at least going to try to charge you with intent to sell. They can't prove it. Oh, well, at least they had you in the holding cell for 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? They know it won't stick. They'll hold you overnight. It doesn't matter. They'll take you off the streets. So why did they decriminalize it? Because white people are doing cocaine at record highs now. at record highs, and they're doing heroin at record highs, and it is visibly destroying their neighborhoods now. Like now you can see the effects of opium in the white neighborhood. You can see the effects of cocaine in the white neighborhood. So now it is not a crime to have cocaine on you, and it's not a crime to have heroin on you. And of course, the white people are not going to go to jail. Why? By the time you catch them, they OD'd. By the time you catch them, it's so much coke in the system, they're dead. When they catch you, you got just enough to get you that high, and you go into jail for narcotics use. Why in the hell? Make it make sense. I can have this gun on me, but if I ever need to defend myself, I cannot use it. Why would I have the gun on me? For looks? A gun isn't for looks, it's for protection. I can have this gun on me, but if I ever choose to shoot it in self-defense, I go to jail. What sense does that make? I can have this crack on me that is supposed to be smoked, but if I ever choose to use it, I go to jail. What sense does that make? None. They are doing that with the full intention of you're going to use it. Who the hell else has grams of crack in their pocket and doesn't sell or use it? What was you doing? What was you on your way to the trash can? You was on your way to the dumpster? Who the hell has crack in a pocket and is not using it in some way, shape, or form? The purpose of that law is because it is affecting the people who run this country now. And now it's an issue. See, Hunter Biden got found doing cocaine. Y'all know that's Joe Biden's son. He was found doing cocaine. So it only makes sense to start legalizing, with all the other stories of white people, it only makes sense to start legalizing cocaine now, doesn't it? You can't have the president's son caught doing coke. You can't have that, right? And it's presumed that the ex-president, the former president's daughter was there, Obama. So you cannot have high-profile cocaine cases like this. It's probably better to just make cocaine legal, right? It might be better if you make, hold on one second, Hawk. It might be better to make cocaine legal, right? Of course, as a black man, like I said, you walk around with grams of crack in your pocket. I want you to. That law is here in Jersey too. You can't. I don't have intent. This is not a violent crime. They took my cousin because he was a big figure. Meaning what? If you are black, you're still going to jail for having that coke in your pocket. You are not who that law was intended for. That law don't really apply to you. But go to Oregon and walk around with a gram or two in your pocket to prove me wrong. And you'll be calling me talking about bail. You understand? You'll be calling me talking about bail. All right? You got something to say?
So it was evidence that Obama was sniffing cocaine himself. Do some researches on it. That came up.
I mean, they all do
cocaine.
They all do cocaine. They all do cocaine. Like they all do cocaine. I only brought Hunter Biden up because Hunter Biden, there's a picture. There's emails. There's pictures on his laptop. He left his laptop. Y'all wasn't here in that class. Hunter Biden left his laptop at a computer repair shop. After a certain amount of time, it belongs to that person if you don't come and pay them for the computer after they fix it. It belongs to the person who owns that shop. He didn't pay the measly $85 because he's a cokehead and he forgot to go pay it. He's a cokehead. Like your father's Joe Biden, you have the money. You're a cokehead. You forgot to go pay it. He goes to a laptop because he knows who it is. He's like, man, I want to see what I can find. He finds all types of child pornography in his laptop and pictures and evidence of hard drug use. And one of them is a picture of the drug use with what is presumed to be, it's a blurry picture of one of Obama's daughter's credit card used to cut up the coke. You understand? So, of course, now you legalize it. They've all been doing it. They all been doing it. But of course, you legalize it now when the effects can be seen on white people. If you run the country and now you're doing what the degenerates do, you legalize it, right? You legalize it. If being in a gang is a crime, then the Italians come in, the mafia come here, In Jersey, you can be in a gang. It's legal. It's legal to be in a gang in Jersey. They can't arrest you for that. They cannot arrest you for other states. They can arrest you for being in a gang. The knowledge that you're in a gang in some states, you can get arrested. In New Jersey, it is legal. Why? Because they love you, black man? No, because the mafia came here. The mafia came here, and the mafia wanted to be the mafia. So the mafia paid to have the laws changed to if you are presumed to be in a gang or an organization of organized crime, you can't be arrested strictly off that, which forced them to have to get evidence, right? You have to get evidence of crimes, not just that I'm associated in a crime group. You have to have evidence that I do crimes. You understand? All of these laws are not for you. It's not for you because your oppressor has no discipline. And he smokes crack and he sniffs coke. That's why they did that. You understand? They did it for that reason. Go back in 12 and drop read 9 again. That's why I said you should follow your father even more so. Your father tried to keep you away from all that, away from drugs, away from all that, away from gangs. The things that your oppressor is legalizing. You understand that? You can't go about what's legal in America. It's legal to smoke cigarettes. Go smoke enough of them and die.
I know they just legalized marijuana in Jersey City. Well,
Yeah.
not Jersey City, in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm,
In the state of New Jersey, they just legalized it. What was it? 4 days ago, 5 days ago, something like that.
Yeah, some shit like that. Something like that.
They just legalized it.
That was in the works for a very long time. That was one of the big things that got Murphy elected.
And then now they have it's not CBD shops, it's dispensaries now.
Of course.
Along 1 and 9, 22. They scattered around in Jersey. So, they just making it regular now. It's a regular thing.
It'd been regular. And I guess it wasn't officially legal, but I worked in Soho and I would see him in Jersey too. But I worked in Soho and there was weed trucks that would just pull up to me. Big old marijuana plants on the side advertising the strains they got. Could smell the weed emanating from out the damn van. Even it was legal. They just be posted right next to the damn popcorn stand.
Right.
Like, they don't need to wait for it to be legal. They don't need to wait for it to be legal. What you need to be worried about is because your oppressor makes something legal, doesn't mean you can do it. Doesn't mean you should tell your children to do it. You have to take more charge than that. You have to chastise your child better than that. Don't teach them to just obey the American government. You have to obey the Most High God. It's more important. All right. Read 9 again.
Come on, sir. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Read on. So even much more, the father that's trying to protect you from the legalized cocaine and the legalized weed. I mean, I don't think there's nothing else they can legalize now, to be honest with you. You don't legalize weed, you got shrooms, everything DMT. I forget what that stands for, but it's basically like things that affect your brain. Shrooms and all of that, weed, narcotics. They didn't legalize, they're legalizing everything. I mean, you just gonna tell your child it's okay to smoke crack now? Because you won't go to jail for it. They're telling you can have it in your possession. They're telling you not to smoke it. But in reality, if you have it on you, you're either selling it or smoking it. What am I doing? Showing it off? Good. It's not a collectible. You got collectible weed? Good.
For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure. But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
Mm-hmm. Slide. Read that again. Read it again. Salaki.
I'm concert 10.
10. Yeah, read it again.
For they verily for a few days chastised us after their own pleasure.
Mm-hmm. For a few, meaning what your father did made him feel like he was a good father. All right. Sometimes this is why I said don't skin him. Sometimes as a parent, like Cat Williams made a joke one time. He said your child in the damn supermarket crying, talking about she wants some Skittles or they want some Skittles or something. And you destroying the child in the supermarket, destroying them on the ground, whooping the skin off the child back because she just wants some damn Skittles. He said, damn, let her have it. She's supposed to want Skittles. She like 7. What else she gonna want? She's supposed to want Skittles. That's what I'm talking about. Don't kill your child for that. Like, don't kill your child because your child wants Skittles. Don't do that. That's what it means for your own pleasure. Meaning that made you feel like you was a good parent. You in a damn store whooping your child some damn Skittles. It made you feel good. Read on.
But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
The Most High does it for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. You understand? He doing all that for us. All that you going to jail and you suffering, you think that he's just standing there smiling and he happy to see you go to jail. Well, not, he don't want nothing for you but to rule the world. That's all he wants for you. But you just keep explaining to him how much you want to smoke crack because Oregon made it legal. So he keep putting you in jail. He keep having you die and come back to the same conditions. You know how many times you probably done died in America? And you here again because you failed. Get it right this time. Kashak?
Sir, that was one of the questions I did have for tonight. It's on topic of what you just said. Does this make us part of those that was going out of Egypt? Were we part of that? Since we do believe in reincarnation, are we the people that was coming out of Egypt? Are we the same people or the same spirit, so to speak?
What do you mean? Say that again?
Are we the same spirit, so to speak, that of the people that was coming out of Egypt, being freed from Egypt? Are we the same spirits? And then I believe in Ecclesiastes, not Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna find the scripture I was reading, and I'll bring it to you the next class, Lord allow it. But I'm asking, are we the same spirits of those who were in Egypt that were free?
I can't tell you that. I can't possibly tell you that because it's not in the scriptures. You'll never know who you were. Understand? You will never know who you were in regards to past lives. Could have been Adam's best friend. And that could have been the last time you was on earth before right now. I wouldn't know. You see what I'm saying? You could have been here and you could have been a brother that got shot down in 1980. And you're here again now. I wouldn't know. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't want to get caught up with, are we exactly those people from, one second. Are we exactly those people from Egypt? Don't get caught up with that. You should be more focused on this is the same time. We have to come together the same way we did then, if not more, because America's worse. America's Egypt and Babylon and Rome and Sodom and Gomorrah. So the way we came together in Egypt, we wasn't even all on the same page in Egypt. Like everybody didn't even really get down with the truth like that. The Lord just let us all leave.
Right.
Not everybody was everybody. You know what I'm saying? We have to come together even harder than that. The proof was the minute we left, cats started serving golden calves and stuff like that, golden cows. Don't get caught up with were we exactly those people. Understand that spirit is something we got to replicate and go 4, 5, 6 times harder if you want to get out of this country. But I can't tell you who he was. All right. I'm trying to end this. This is a long one. Give me 11.
Sir. Now, no chastening, Salaki. Now, no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yield the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Nevertheless, it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness. You get beat by the Most High, you come back a better man. All right. If you don't come back a better man by getting chastised by the Most High, it means you didn't take your chastisement well. That's why I said y'all should never be but I had it this way. I understand, but all that don't work. If you're gonna be a man inside the truth, a man of God, you cannot have excuses for reasons why you had to get chastised. You cannot do that. Let me tell you something. Then on top of that, don't feel away. If something don't apply to you, I'm addressing real things y'all gonna go through in the truth. If something don't apply to you, particularly let's say in a camp circle or something like that, somebody was doing this, somebody was doing that. Let's fix this next week. You get all up in your damn feelings and your emotions about it because you feel like somebody was talking about you. Don't nobody have time to talk about you. You're not that important. Please don't confuse it. You're not that important. Nobody has time to talk about you. What really happens is you feel like you did it. You feel like you did it. So now somebody just makes a general statement. You feel like somebody coming for you. Right? You feel like somebody coming for you. Or maybe you feel like you always get chastised. So now when you're getting chastised, but sir, I'm just saying, always seem like no. You don't got to do all that. You getting chastised. It's for a reason. Like it's for a reason. I've never been chastised and it wasn't for a reason. Never. I feel like somebody is talking a certain way to me. I address it in the moment so that I don't feel a way later if that man chastises me. You understand? Right. Because you're going to hold stuff in and, oh, man, I'm a tough man. I can't let that bother me when it's bothering the hell out of you. Like it's bothering the hell out of you. It's all in your face. But like if I say, let me give you a prime example. And please understand this when I say this. If I say something that offends you and you don't say nothing to me, I don't care. I don't care. How am I supposed to know I offended you? You want me to care? I don't know I offended you. Don't say nothing. You're being unbrotherly. That's nothing to do with me being unbrotherly. I'm talking the way I talk, presuming we on the same page. If it makes you feel a certain way and you say nothing, I won't care because you don't say nothing. I'm not going to coddle you and come to you and say, well, I didn't know, because nobody did that for me. I felt a certain way. If I didn't say it, it wasn't getting addressed. You understand that? And I'm telling you something that I done been through. Man, I ain't going to let that bother me. And it was bothering me a little bit. So the next time I was saying, I'll be like, hey, remember the last thing you said? And I would address it. And they'd be like, man, you better say that. You better say that immediately next time. That ain't nothing. And as soon as he addressed it, you feel like you made something big out of nothing. You understand? You feel like you done made a big deal out of something that the man who offended you didn't know he was doing and would have apologized for immediately. You understand? So if you don't address it, it's on you. You feel offended, you address it. I'm not going to be, did I offend you? Nobody else is going, in the school is going to be like, did I offend you? Nobody's doing that. You feel offended, you say something. You don't say something, I'm not caring. I'm going on about my day because I'm thinking I'm being a brother. You understand? All right, drop Hebrews 12. Give me Proverbs 12. Somebody got it? Y'all all got it. Somebody read it.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 1. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish.
He that hateth reproof is brutish. What does brutish mean? You're brutish. You love instruction. He whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge. Like, you gotta learn to love being told you wrong. I absolutely, let me say something. I love being told I'm wrong. It keeps you from getting the big head, and it allows you to know it's more to learn. Don't come in the truth and think you're trying to reach a certain point, a set point in the truth. The truth is the journey of the truth. You understand? The learning every day, learning more brotherhood every day, seeing new faces, learning how to treat your brother better, learning more things about how you're going to run your world. You understand? Like, the truth is the journey. The truth is not, I want to reach this one set point and I'm done. You understand that? The truth is, I got a long way to go until that I take my last breath. You understand? The day you take your last breath, that's the day when you can relax. You're past now. Now you can relax. Kashat?
Brutish, resembling, befitting, a typical of a brute or beast, live in short and brutish life as a slave.
No, I need the verb version. I don't know what you just gave me. Give me the verb version. It's a second definition. Matter of fact, give me brute. Brute is better. Because ish just means to be like. Give me brute.
I was going to be synonym.
No, just give me brute. Young man. Get a young man a mic. Get a young man a mic out.
Brute, her definition, spread wide.
Okay, no. Let me see. Let me give it to you right here. I got it in front of me. I actually was like, I meant to get the noun. A savagely violent person or animal. A savagely violent person or animal. If you can't stand to be corrected, that's because you're a savage. That's why. You're a savage. You're a savage. You're an uncontrollable animal. You understand? You're an uncontrollable animal. You can't be trusted in damn near anywhere. Asked to do anything because you're an uncontrollable animal. You listen to nobody but your animal instinct, which tells you to just eat, sleep, piss, and have sex whenever, wherever, however. You understand? You hate correction. You're a beast. You're just savage. All right? Give me Proverbs 29 and 15.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 15. I cannot. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
The rod of reproof, the rod and reproof gives you wisdom. Let me tell you something. I know so many people think that beating is why, you turned out to not be worth nothing because your parents beat you and now you flinch when people get too close. They ain't got nothing to do why you flinch. You flinch because you're weak. That's why you flinch. You flinch simply because you're weak. Don't blame your parents for beating you while you're afraid of confrontation. And I'm telling you things I've heard grown black men say. I'm afraid of confrontation because my parents beat me. Your parents beating you has nothing to do with why you are afraid of confrontation. You are afraid of confrontation because of a word I can't say on YouTube. That's why you're afraid of confrontation. Don't blame your parents whooped you. Your father whooped you because he saw it in you and tried to get it out of you. That's why your father whooped you. And the reproof The rod and reproof give wisdom. That 2-week punishment you got for coming home 6 hours late, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, that beating you got, that's supposed to give you wisdom. I should never disobey like that again. That's supposed to give you wisdom. But instead, you grow up and blame your parents for you being weak. You didn't gain any wisdom from that because you're a savage. You're a savage. That's why. Read that second part again.
But a child left to himself brings his mother to shame.
A child left to himself brings his mother shame. Just shame. Like when women have men children, a woman has a man child, you understand the excitement a woman has when she has a man child. You understand that she's thinking that she's bringing a future protector into this earth. You understand that? She's thinking she's bringing a future protector in the earth. But I mean, all she got was you. She just got you, and it was just disappointing. It was disappointing. She can't rely on you. Think you're being tough, and you're being a man, and you're growing up by being outside at 2 in the morning. Okay, I guess because there must not be nothing masculine about obeying an order. Can't be. Can't be. Masculinity, the definition of being a man must mean I disobey everything and do whatever I want whenever I please. The men who tell you that are men who are conditioned to not be men, and this is how they coped. They coped. They coped. They realized they were insufficient at being a man, and they coped. They said, I must disobey everything because I was such a weak bastard. I'm such a weak, disgusting I'm a spineless bastard. So now I'll just, I'll not respect anything. I'll disobey everything because I was a spineless bastard. So it's better than being spineless. That's what they're thinking. That's exactly what they're thinking. And it is dishonorable to your mother who thought she had a warrior and a future protector coming in the earth when she got a weak, spineless bastard who will blame her in the future for being a weak, spineless bastard. It is disgusting. Mawasa?
Yes, sir. It's like you say, keep God's commandments. That's the whole duty of a man. The whole duty of a man is to follow orders and keep God's commandments.
Precisely. Your entire duty is how well can you follow an order. That's your entire duty as a man. How well can you follow an order? That's it. That's the entire duty. But you fail from the biggest order to the smallest order, and then you want to blame somebody else for you having no discipline. You having no discipline, you want to, man, if such and such never did that, man, if my father never whooped me, if they would have just sent me off to military school like I wanted them to, or if they would have never sent me off to military school, no matter what happened in your life, you was just going to be spineless. Spineless. The military don't change that. I done covered them. I think what was that that was Wednesday. Wednesday I talked about the military. Yeah, like the military that leaves you spineless. What do? Marry a slut who cheats on you while you in Afghanistan? Like, please. And you do it all for a Camaro. Like, the military does not give you a spine. The military gives you a reason to believe you are a man because you have a very large weapon in your hand. And when you walk around places, people are forced to recognize you. You understand? None of that is organic. None of that is organic. That's why nobody respects the cops. It's not organic. We don't respect cops. We don't come around and comply with cops because we know you truly uphold the law and we hold you in reverence. We come around and y'all come around and we give you the license and registration because if we don't, you're going to kill us. That's why. Nobody really reverences you. You did not earn that. You didn't earn anything. You went through an academy where they told you if you ever find yourself in a situation where you want to kill a black man, say you were scared for your life. That's what they teach you in the academy. I can't honor that. I can't revere that. You understand? You walk around like a big man because somebody give you a badge and a gun. So you walk around like a big man. You're a big man now. Read on. Kashak.
Slack sir. Just want to make a point. This is why our children today walk around with guns and have
Yeah,
no
precisely.
mindset of who the police are and don't care, and they shoot at police because you got a gun. I can go get a gun too, and mine's bigger than yours. So it's like now it's like a
It's a pissing contest with
right
your
tunnel
weapon.
con. I don't want to say that, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
tunnel con,
It's a
sir.
contest. It's a
Right,
who's bigger contest with your gun.
right,
That's all it is.
tunnel con.
The streets has nothing. Let me tell you something. The streets is always going to be the streets, which is garbage. But as far as the men in the streets go, it everything is about a weapon now. Nobody can fight you. Nobody can contest you. Nobody can. You can't have an argument. Like if you argue on a basketball court tomorrow, I advise you go home. Like go home. Don't think you about to finish the game. Don't think, man, he is sucking, man. Look, I made him leave. Go home. Go home. And probably don't even go to that park for like a week. Because he's looking to kill you because you fouled him. And nobody called foul, so he couldn't shoot his free throws. So now you're on his list. Masculinity is measured in weakness. It's measured in weakness, and the only place you find strength at is here in the I.S.U.P.K, where I don't care about a foul shot. To offend me, it take a lot. To offend me, you gotta completely blaspheme my God. There's almost nothing you can say to me to make me just blow my lid and lose my cool. Almost nothing. Because what is more important than serving my God? Me blasting you and going to jail, or me letting everything you say roll off my shoulder because you're not half the man I am, nor are you important to my mission in life. It seems like my God is more important, so of course I will just let what you say mean nothing. You understand? Read, I had you read in 15. Read 17. Don't bring your mother shame.
Calm, sir. Calm, sir. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest.
Correct him and he'll give you, like, you understand if you build a strong man up for a son, when you 60 and you 70, you should want to not, don't be crippled if you can help it. You see what I'm saying? Don't be all broke down if you can help it.
Right.
But if you are, you want to be able to know I'm good. You understand? I'm good. Like a little something in me, it ignites a fire in me. When I used to see, I can't remember what video it was. It's like a video I've seen, but I see this often in person. I'm trying to recall the exact instance. It lights a fire in me when you see an older brother, 60, 70 years old. Now, I'm not saying to do violence, so take this with what it's for. Being able to call for his son, being like, somebody, imagine a police officer coming to your door. You 70 years old, police harassing you. Police harassing you. And you can pick up the phone and just say, Daryl, I need you to come over here. Imagine the power you feel as a man who raised a strong son who knows the police thinks they're going to bully me because I'm in a wheelchair now, right, not knowing I have a full and able-bodied son, right, who I raised to be greater than I was at his age. Imagine the power he feels. Imagine the happiness in his soul he feels, knowing if nothing happens, if something was to happen, he could call his son. Now imagine the despair, the disgust your father feels, knowing that when he calls you, like, you probably just took your girlfriend's panties off. Imagine the disgust. Imagine the disgust, him knowing that you was downtown marching, talking about Black Lives Matter, begging your enemy to acknowledge you. Imagine his disgust, knowing that he could never call you. That's the real reason why men don't go around their fathers no more. That's the real reason. You don't go around your father because you know your father would look at you with shame and disgust. Because as much as he might have fell to drugs back in his day, he tried to raise you to be better, and you turned out to be a pansy. And he can't call on you for anything. Anything. He knows that. What does he also know? The son that you bring, you won't be able to call on him. He knows his whole lineage just failed. His whole line just failed. Hit the ground, garbage. It is burnt up because you want to go march in the streets. Because you believe you could be friends with white people. Imagine that. Read it again.
Come on, sir. Yeah. He shall give the light into thy soul.
So read it again.
Oh, come on, sir. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about him no more. He doing good things. Go ahead.
Yeah. He shall give delight unto thy soul.
Should make you happy, man. She'll make you happy when you correct your son. Correct your son, and you'll be just such a happy father. Imagine a father, let me tell you something. It's all the men that's in the truth that do have some type of contact with their father still. Imagine your father seeing you in the truth, knowing he's still some ain't worth a nickel brother in the world. Knowing that, he knows that, and then looking at you, do what you do. Imagine that. Imagine as much art. Imagine telling your father you and I.S.U.P.K. and you literally save black people, and he might argue you down to the ground. Now imagine as soon as you close that damn door, how happy he actually is. But the demon in him wouldn't let him congratulate you.
Right.
Imagine how happy his soul is, knowing that he failed, but he did just enough so you didn't fail. Give Kashak the mic. Now imagine how he feels. Shit, I hope I can pull it up. Check, check, check. Now imagine how he feels, knowing he failed, and look at you fail worse. Imagine. Or imagine him thinking, or not even something thinking, because every man isn't the same. Imagine him literally trying to do everything, providing for you, making sure your mother was safe and okay in her house and all that, and wonderful things, picking you up, teaching you things, telling you never wear tight jeans. There's fathers like that still out there in the world.
Right.
Imagine him doing all that just for you to grow up and say, Dad, I think I like boys. Imagine how you just tore his soul in half.
Right.
Imagine. If I was him, I'd cut you off. Cause y'all,
Shalaki, sir. I I argue with my dad just about every time we get on the phone. This is a little different, a little less now than from when I first started being in the truth. The arguments are different. It's not so much an argument. And I speak to my dad regularly. He'd be 62 this year, 62 years old, and we speak regularly. He's still building stuff and climbing up on roofs and doing that. He's in Georgia now, so I was just on the phone with him today, and it's funny you brought this up today, and it's like we having a little brief argument, and I'm telling him, listen, man, this is right. I'm not gonna do that. It's not right to do that. It's just general conversation about life and his belief about the Bible, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it that way because the way I'm being taught is a better way. And we had a brief little argument about it, and he like, man, you run around here like your cousin in a cult, and I'm like, I am, Pop, I am though. I said, and I like the Kool-Aid though. I said, I'm not being funny. He's like, see, you always trying to be smart. Yeah, I am though. I'm really trying to be smart. And it's like, it's hard to argue with somebody who, your father, period. It's hard to argue with your father. But, it's like, I know he see the difference in me because I have uncles that's my elders, and they look at me and they say, it's a difference in you. So I understand what you're saying when your father have that pride where he can't say nothing, or that demon that's on him where he
Can't congratulate you.
acknowledge it,
God.
but he acknowledges you. So I do understand that, sir.
Yeah, you could take some solitude knowing that every time you get off the phone, your father is glad you're not the man you was 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Right.
You understand? He is extremely glad. Now, he might want you to be a little Christian. However, he is extremely glad you are not who you was before. That's simply the demon in him that won't let him tell you. That's trying to get you to do other things.
Right.
You understand? But that father is extremely happy. He's extremely. If any man in there got in contact with their father, their soul is happy. I don't care what that man says. His soul, knowing he failed, he knows he failed. Be honest. Men in the hood all the time, what we do is joke, laugh about, and talk about how, man, I did this in jail, and I did that in jail, and I did this on the street, I did that on the street. Okay, cool. And in reality, when celebrities and entertainers get out the hood, what we do? Idolize them. We argue who's better in the hood. I'm better at being hood than you are. No, I'm better than you. And in reality, as soon as the celebrity leave, as soon as somebody go to be a celebrity or entertainer, you idolize them. Because all any of y'all want to do is get out the hood. And when I mean get out the hood, get out that hood mentality. We want to get out that life.
Right.
So as soon as you're able to tell your father you did that, his soul lights up. It lights up. Just sometimes the demons in that brother won't allow him to tell you. Mama saw?
Yeah, so yeah, my father, he a pastor down in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And he know about me being in the truth. My pops told me, like, son, you on the right path to something. And I said, well, I was like, so pops, if you know what we are, and you know the tribe, and you know what we doing and everything, I'm like, yeah, well, what's going on? And he was like, son, nah, man, you leading now. You on the right path. I ain't never really get all that, but when me and my father have Bible talk, he don't never argue with me about nothing. He just listen. He take it all in, tell me that I'm on the right path, and that's how it go with me.
That's all, because that's all he can do. He knows he failed, and every year of your life, when he watched you fail, it's like he failed double. It hurt him even more. You understand? Hurt him. That's why, like, even when you get in the church, the fathers be all, they pretend happy that you found fake Jesus and all that. Like, when you in here, and he knows that you found the Bible, and you able to be a man at the same time, his soul lights up. You found what he was looking for his whole life and just couldn't find. The thing he wanted, see, a lot, that's how it usually happens. I'm hard, I'm gangster in the street. I go to jail. I convert to something, or I change my life either in there or when I come out. Something happened where I changed my life from being hard in the street to doing that. And they usually go direct opposite. Now they Christian or now they Muslim. You understand?
Right.
They usually go direct opposite. You found that one thing that brother's been looking for. Why? How can I retain my manhood and serve God? And you found it. Like a needle in a haystack, you found it. And your father can't do nothing but be happy.
Right.
Because the demon in him won't let him just come in. Demon in him won't let him come in. Not right now, at least not right now. Won't let him come in. But he knows you found it and he's happy for you. All right. Last thing, good.
It's off topic, sir.
I was moving on anyway, good.
Come across. Sir, I have a question, right? The 144. I know that those are gonna be brought up in the
Bible shot. Give me my charger, please.
in the ships as we know it. But the 1/3 are the 1/3 going up too, or the 1/3 is gonna be here with the.
So the 144,000 is the men of the I.S.U.P.K. who will be trained to govern the earth.
Come on, sir.
We're trained to rule the same way you have president, governor, senator, secretary, treasurer, mayor, city councilman, house representative. The same way you have all of that. Of course, we're not doing democracy, of course.
Right.
But the same way you have these different positions in government.
Right.
And it seemed like it's when you look at it, take a step back, it's hella people in government, right? Include law enforcement, that damn near triples. You know what I'm saying? FBI, CIA, DA, ATF. Oh, it's in my pocket. Man, it's not. Triple. So when you include that, the government is a large number, right? You are the government. You are training right now. What you are being trained to do is rule the government. You're being taught discipline right now so that you don't police the neighborhood the way that they police us now.
Right.
You understand? You don't commit crimes against the citizens who are asking for your help. You understand? You don't do that. Don't like I called it in Uber earlier today. He damn near about to lock my Uber driver up for putting his hazards on to come get me. And I'm looking, I'm like, he go down the street, he said, oh God, man, he damn near arrested me. I'm like, you gonna arrest somebody because they just pulled, as soon as he pulled up, I stepped outside. You gonna arrest somebody because he put his hazards on for what? 2 seconds? You having a power trip.
Right.
Having a power trip, and you just shows you shouldn't have no power. You being trained how to use power, you're proving why you should have power, and you're showing what you should do with power right now. You are the 140, we are the 144,000, the government of Christ.
No, Slakia, excuse me, sir. No, I know that part. That part I got. I'm asking about the 1/3.
The 1/3 are the citizens that's going to be in the kingdom. You can't be a government without the citizens.
Right. The 1/3, are they going to go up upon the ships? Because from what I was reading is everybody's going to see the kingdom of heaven. Quote unquote, taking the
all of those people are going to see the kingdom of heaven.
Right. The 2/3. Are they going to see the kingdom as well? That's what I'm asking.
Right. Those 2/3. Right. So we pray so that the 2/3 of the Most High repents from that every day. So don't kill 2/3 of us. You know what I mean? Have mercy on us. Let more of us in. Right.
Right.
Have mercy. We pray that the Most High repent from that all the time. Let's just take it for how it is. 2/3 will die here in America.
Right.
They'll die. Christ comes back, they'll die with our oppressor. A vast majority of our oppressor, not all of them. And a lot of the other heathens. That 1/3 are going to be the citizens of the kingdom of heaven.
1/3.
The 2/3 is going to die. The 2/3 are going to die. Those people will not make it. They say they're going to get cast into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is America burning on fire. That's the lake of fire. America will be burning on fire. That's the lake. Right? But are they going to get brought up in the chariots? I can't say that specifically, but they will not be down. They will not be a part of like World War III. If that's what you're saying.
The 1/3.
Come. They will be spared as we will be spared. Right? And you don't know who that is. And you should never strive. Don't strive to be the 1/3. Don't strive. I hope the Most High have mercy on me one day. Don't do that. All right. Now, some brothers put themselves in that position by, like, if you come to class and you just want to be a student,
right?
You can do that. You can 100% do that. But make your election sure, as it says in the scriptures, meaning I'm going to put work in.
Right.
I want to put work in. So I can show the Most High, look, I did all this, I did all this, I did all this. I stopped sinning, I did all this, I did all this, I did all this. You please let me into heaven. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Please let me into the kingdom of heaven. Please. You are 1/3. You're a student. You're not training to be in the government. You're just learning your culture, as would every other citizen in the kingdom. I mean, you're training to be a citizen, but I mean, I want to make my election sure.
Right.
I'm not saying the Most High don't appreciate none of that. He's still just going to kill you. And I'm not saying that. The Most High is a just God. All I'm saying is I like to make my election sure. I like to put work in.
I just wanted to know the difference with where the 1/3 was going to go, if they want to go on the chariots, and what was going to happen to the 2/3 of our people.
I can find out exactly where they're going to go. I'm assuming you're talking about while the earth is being set on fire. Yeah, I can find out.
As far as the 1/3, but the 2/3, because I was reading the scriptures about the Most High not being the. It's like I don't want to quote it wrong. I'm paraphrasing, sir, that the Most High is not like the author of death, but the author of life, so to speak. I don't. It's not author. I don't think it's the word author. It's the creator of death, or he's the creator of life. Some to that nature. I was reading, and that's what I know. It was for the reincarnation.
Gun, gun, gun,
Stuff for the reincarnation. There was
gun.
something in that, and I was reading, and I wanted to ask the question about the 2/3. Since the Most High is not the author of, or not author, but
No, the Most High is 100% behind death. He's 100% the reason behind death. He is. I don't have that scripture on me. I can find it, but it'll take some time. The Most High is 100% the creator of. That's what it is. The creator of good and evil.
Right.
So you die, he's 100% behind that. He stamped that. He stamped that. He wanted that. You live, he wanted that. So he's 100% behind that. 2/3 down America. That's because they were supposed to. He's 100% behind that. We want all Israel to come, right? But we're not the Most High. You can only make your election sure. Give me. I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna read a little faster. Read Proverbs 13:24.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. I got it. He that spareth his rod.
1 second, and then you do know that 2/3 is still going to come back in the kingdom.
That's what I was actually saying.
Oh, okay. That's
what I was asking.
All right.
That's what I meant about not because we believe in reincarnation. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. So that scripture, you would have to show me that scripture so I could either, I could show you where you're getting it confused at or something like that. But yeah, those 2/3 are coming back. So do you need a scripture on it? I'm talking about the 2/3 coming back. Okay. Hold that in the Bible. Give me 1 second.
Argument with my cousin who's a evangelist. Evangelist, yeah, that's what she's supposed to be. So I was having an argument with her. I'll bring it up, sir.
Give me 20:4. Revelations 20:4. Yeah, Zach gave me that. The Most High is is behind good and evil. That's Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It's Deuteronomy 32 and 39.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned in Yahweh with 1,000 years.
With Christ.
With Christ 1,000 years.
Yeah, so that 1,000 years is metaphorical. It just means a long time. Right, that means a long time. As we know, the kingdom of heaven is everlasting, right? Reign with Christ a long time. Read verse 5. You got something home? Also, you had a question? You had a question?
Yes, I was about to ask you about I was about to ask you about 5.
I'm about to read 5.
Yeah.
Good.
Come on, sir. Verse 5. But the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished.
The rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the 2/3.
Come on, sir.
So you're going to spend all this time with Christ, building his kingdom, building his kingdom, wilderness, building his kingdom, building his kingdom. Then that 2/3 will come back after the kingdom's established.
Come on.
They won't be a part of building the kingdom. They'll be our children in the kingdom.
Come on, concept.
So,
Wow.
Salakia. So, okay. So the 2/3 that come back, when they do come back to the
Will
kingdom,
be our children.
so they'll be brought back actually brought back into the truth.
Well, the truth, there will be no the truth. The truth is going to be your life.
So it's just going to be.
You
okay.
won't be living next door to a damn junkie. You know what I'm saying? That won't be allowed.
It'll be part of the 12.
Stone, you'll be going. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, come on. Like, the truth will be everybody. Like this whole block, you don't got to worry about who doing what. You know everything is everything.
Right.
Good.
Yeah, Con. So you saying that? All right. So we saying here in verse 5 that so the 2/3, some of them they gotta wait 1,000 years to come back after they put to death.
All of them.
Oh, all of them gotta wait 1,000 years.
So come.
Oh,
So those brothers and sisters will come back as our children in the kingdom.
Oh, Con.
Good. But you will still die in America. So don't think I'm finna smoke this crack. I'm finna pop these holes. I'm finna do whatever the hell I feel like. And, you know, ISUPK said I'm gonna die, but when I come back, I ain't even got to put no work in, and I'm gonna come into the kingdom.
So 1,000 years.
We have a rude awakening. The Most High ain't stupid. You understand?
Right.
He ain't stupid. You ain't just about to do whatever the hell you want now and then come back into the kingdom like that. It ain't gonna be set up like that. But good.
So what it means at the end of the verse, this is the first resurrection. What does that mean?
This is the first resurrection. Let me get some clarification.
No sweat, sir.
I forget. Let me get some clarification. I believe it gave it to me in a previous chapter, but I'm just asking on it to bring it back. All right. In the Bible, give me what you had. It's Proverbs what?
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son.
Your son will be a part of those brothers and sisters who unfortunately will die in America because you scared to beat them. You understand? You scared to punish your child. Like, if you spare the rod, you hate him. It says it right here. Like, I'm not even making nothing up. I'm not even talking tough. Read it again, Nabaya.
He that spareth his rod,
he that does not take the belt off and whoop the child,
hateth his son.
You hate your child. That's it. You hate your child. If they do something to where you like, I'm gonna whoop his, and then you start thinking, well, when my daddy whooped me, he didn't do anything, and that's why you don't beat your child. You hate your child. You want your child to grow up and be a drunkard or a junkie and a crackhead. You want him to go to Oregon so he can smoke crack. That's what you want for your son if you refuse to beat him. If your son or your daughter does something deserving of punishment, don't hesitate to punish them. Don't hesitate. Don't do it. Because it means you love them. Good?
But he that loveth him, chasten him betimes.
Betimes, meaning I will chasten you whenever I need to. Understand? I'm not going to be like, man, I did just have you on punishment last week. I'm going to let you rock today. No, like, if you got a son who just don't know how to act right and it seemed like he always on punishment, well, damn. It just seemed like your childhood going to be spent on punishment. Because you're not going to run around here like you run the damn house. You got a daughter that seemed like she don't know how to listen. She don't want to be a sweet little princess. Well, damn, it just seemed like you're going to spend your whole childhood on lockdown, don't it? Oh, well, you can hate me later. Right. But I mean, sooner or later, maybe you'll realize that I don't raise whores. Right. I don't raise whores. I don't raise junkies. I don't do that. Sooner or later, you'll realize that. All right. And Dunny, you got a question?
I got a let's comment.
My boy is something else. I mean, he just got off of a 3-month punishment. Yeah, 3 months. 3 months of him not listening to nothing. When I say not listening to nothing, I mean like he don't get it. Like when you walk around the house, put some socks on, slippers on. Every time you come down the stairs, what do you got on? Nothing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think some people is just hard headed as can be, and they got when they say you make your bed, you're gonna lie in it. Like whatever you got coming to you is gonna come to you.
No, hey, let me tell you why that's garbage. Who knows the scripture I'm about to pull? Based off what it done you just said. Y'all should know. Especially, I ain't maybe not as of recently, but I used to pull this damn to every class. I'm very big on how you raise your children.
It's like a spare the rod, spoil the child, sir.
No. That's an old Judite saying. You think it should be in the scriptures, don't you? it's in there somewhere. It's in there. Train up a child in the way he shall go. When he is old, he shall not depart from it.
Right.
That's a product of somebody teaching him something contrary to what you trying to teach him. You know I know. That is 100% the product of somebody else undermining what you're saying. That's why he's 3 months punishment. I'm still finna walk down here. I'm still finna do that because somebody else is telling him that what you say don't matter. Kashak?
It's like for the brother as well. I know I was the kid that was always on punishment and always having to be in the house and learn how to cook. That's why I learned how to cook so good because I was always there. I wrote thousands of punishments. I'm talking about now I write poetry because I had to write those thousands of poems. I had uncles come sit in class, not listen, sit in the class. See, I grew up with elders that they sit in the class and whoop your tail in class. Everything like diapers, right? I wish you would call them in my house. I'm gonna beat you in diapers. That was the conversations in my household, right? And I still did. I wanted in the streets. However, like the brother just brought up, train your child up. I was brought in, and I'm gonna use this lightly. I was brought up in a Christian home, lightly, but it brought me back to the Bible, so to speak. But the Most High allowed me to come back properly this time, though. So just keep training them, keep being on them, keep being on them. I got nieces and nephews that I'm the best uncle in the world, but I'm the worst uncle because I will tighten you up quickly, quickly. In a heartbeat, in an instance. Don't you disrespect your mother, your father in front of me because I have a problem. I'm gonna disrespect you.
Give me 22 and 15 in Proverbs.
Come on, concert. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. Said 22 and
15.
22 and 15, sir.
15.
Come on, con. Chapter 22, verse 15. Foolish is Slakia. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Beat it out of him, Hawk.
Right.
Beat it out of him.
Right.
Foolishness is bound in the heart, in the mind of a child. All your child want to do is a bunch of foolishness. You leave it up to them to eating Sour Patches for dinner. You leave it up to them, they taking a shower in the rain. Like, foolishness is just all in your child head. But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
Right.
You understand? The rod of correction will drive it very far from you. Beat him. Beat him. I ain't America. Beat him. Beat him.
Right.
Beat him. We don't run diapers. We don't run a diaper service in ISUPK. We support that. We support you beating your child if the child deserves it. Your child refused to listen. Hey, the rod ain't never kill him. It ain't not never killed the child. You understand? No, never. A decent beating with a punishment fit the crime ain't never kill a child.
Kind of on.
You understand? It ain't do nothing but teach Kashat poetry. You understand? Taught him how to cook. You understand? And then maybe to make you some put some damn socks on.
Right.
Mama saw?
Come on, sir. It's funny how America, you know, and the Christian church and the Catholics and all them, but the Catholic church mainly, and the government, they teach you that with TITHES that you can't discipline and beat your child. But it's funny how the Catholic church can touch your child.
Okay. Because the whole thing is because I look think of it like this. If I tell you you could beat your child, beat your child, man, put him correct. You're teaching your child things. Your child learns to love you as a father because you're not a weak man. You think children can't sniff weakness? Are you a fool? Like, are you a fool? Why do you think when you're a strong man with a whore or not? Let me not say whore. With a woman who just with a with a woman who just won't, like a woman who won't listen. When you have that in the house and think your child don't notice that you're strong and she's undermining you, you think she won't notice that? Your child looks like, okay, so if mommy not around, I'm gonna really have to do what this nigga say. Salakia.
Right.
I'm gonna really have to do what he say because he ain't for that. I'm finna make sure I'm only around him when mommy around.
Right.
And that's the same thing that the pastor do. Same thing that the Catholic. They make sure that don't beat him, bring him. Now he's playing daddy. He's playing daddy. You understand? And the child got a feeling that something off, but he's so damn encompassed by femininity his whole life. It's like he right where that mind that set he's in put him. This mind state puts him right next to the preacher. It puts him right next to the Catholic priest. It puts him right next to him because the mother done had him his whole life, done ruined his mind, and he done said don't beat him. He done some. The government done said drive the father out the house. All of that been going on. He just so disassociated with what a father should be. He's looking at the priest like a daddy figure.
Right.
It's not a priest saying, "Come here, you want to go fishing?" I got an extra plate in my basement. I heard y'all. What y'all that PlayStation y'all play? I got that in the basement. You understand? That's what he says. And your child think he going down there for some mac and cheese, or he going down there for some damn Street Fighter or something.
Right.
And he get the hand the controller, let him play. Yeah, I could never understand these myself. Yeah, start rubbing all on his damn shoulder. He don't know nothing. He don't know what the hell going on. He know he feel violated, but there was never a man there to beat him to tell him. Like, when your father beat you, when you feel violated in school, you're not letting nobody violate you in school. You only get that if you were ever violated, meaning you felt like somebody was disrespecting you or somebody was laughing at you in your face in front of girls. I'm talking about minor things in school. You understand?
Right.
Minor things. You like, what? And now you feel like you got to prove yourself. You can't allow this to continue. Your child don't know that. Your child don't know what it's like to not let something continue because his father never beat him. His father never showed, I won't let what you're doing continue.
Right.
So he doesn't know what it looks like to not let something continue. So the priest get the touching and rubbing on him. He don't know what it's like to not let something continue. Ask children. Look up. They probably won't talk about it. Look up the instances of children. Whoever's old enough from a child who was, unfortunately molested or something like that, ask them if they're comfortable talking about it. Maybe one of these speakers who talk about it openly or something like that. I know Charlemagne was molested. You see what I'm saying? One of these speakers that openly talk about it. Ask him. Did you know what he was doing was wrong? Contrary to television, they'll say yes. Contrary to what you see on television, they may not know exactly everything that was happening, but they'll know they felt themselves being violated. You understand? Nobody ever touched them like that. You understand? It's not something common. It's not something to where it's like I'm used to it. I like this. It's something like this feels wrong. Ask children. Children will tell you it felt wrong. But nobody ever was there to stop the things they were doing, to show them there's lines you don't cross. There's things you don't do. This is how you say no. You see how I'm saying no to you? This is how you say no. Nobody ever told the child that. And then on top of that, the Catholic priest just ain't doing that if you in the house. He's not doing it. He's afraid something gonna get broke on his face. He's not doing that. If you in the house, the Catholic priest probably don't even look at your child doing service. He probably mad you in the house. Understand that. If you go to church with your, in fact, if you go to church with her, he probably think he could just sneak it right from under you. If you got a woman that go to church with your child, a woman that goes to church and has a child, and you don't go to church, the pastor's probably looking at your child, scoping them out. How can he get there? How can he get it? How can he weasel himself in there? Why? He doesn't see you there. If he saw you there, he'd be mad. He'd be mad. He'd be disgusted to see a black man with his child. Right. He'd be disgusted that you're taking his prey. But I mean, you want your child to go to Oregon and smoke crack, have crack in their pocket and smoke crack. Right. All because you just couldn't whoop them. Like, damn, it's not going to kill them. That's the last scripture I'm going to pull. Everything I'm saying is in the Bible. It is literally not going to kill them. I'm going to pull like 2 more scriptures. Y'all bear with me since it started late anyway. Give me Proverbs 23 and 13. Yeah, Zachariah pulled the perfect one. Proverbs 19 and 18. He said, chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Beat him while you can. Let me tell you something. My mom used to beat me, right? She used to beat me. I was running the streets. Just right around the time I started running the streets. She used to beat me. The last time she ever beat me, she made me take off my spike belt. I had a spike belt and give it to her. She beat me with it. I'm like 11 at this point. It felt like nothing to me. She whooping me. It felt like nothing. Nothing at all. And then she just kept trying. She getting tired, trying to beat me. I'm looking at her get tired. And I'm just, when it hits you, wince a little bit. But it ain't hurt. I ain't crying. I'm not tearing up. I forced myself to cry so she will let me leave. Beat your child while it works. Right. It stops working. You understand? You know what really made me pull back from the street? She called my uncle. That's what pulled me back. That's what pulled me back. A man. Right. A man pulled me back. Right. A man. That's by the grace of the Most High, because like I said, beat your child while it works. Right. Punish them while it works. You understand that? She don't know I was already like knee deep in it. But it kind of pulled me back a little bit, like I need to reconsider life. You see what I'm saying? But you need to assess your child before your child is beyond saving. Before your child is out here like one of our many young men killing and being killed by one another. Right. Or maybe they just 4 children, 6 baby daddies. How you do that? I don't know. I have no clue. But we managing to do it. We managing to do that. You got more baby daddies than you got children. And Lord knows how the hell you did it. Some woman went on Maury the other day. I seen it as a blog online. It's her 10th time going on Maury. Her 9th time going on Maury for the same child. She does not know who the father is. She slept with 9 different men. When do you start knowing you're pregnant? Month 2? Around month 2? In 8, she slept with a brother every week. A new one. Every week. Realized she was pregnant and couldn't couldn't fathom who the father was, and then been on Maury 9 times. That's another reason why your child don't listen. His mommy is slut. Mommy got like 8 different dudes coming in at the house. He don't know which one to listen to. Raheem told him, if you gonna bang, make sure you bang this game. Jared told him, you gotta, inshallah, serve Islam. You understand? Mikey told him, you know, man, you should just move to Colorado with me. Mikey was touching him. Your child don't know who the hell to listen to. That's another reason why your child don't listen. Give me 23 and 13 in Proverbs.
Con, sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 13. Or I can have it. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beateth him with the rod, he shall not die.
He won't die. You understand that? Like, you're not killing your child. Y'all so scared of, like, damn, I don't know. Like, y'all just so scared of having any type of strength at all. You won't even beat your child. Like, as a man, it's like you don't even want authority no more in this country. You don't even want authority in 2020. You don't even want to have a position of authority no more. You don't want to be a father to your children. You don't want to do nothing. You want to be some weak bastard. You know what compasses you? What makes it so that you feel okay on the inside? You know what that is? Well, hey, at least my players are ranked 95 on 2K. I don't gotta be a father. I play video games, and I'm good at video games. And when I go to church, I clap and sing hallelujah when I go to church, and that makes me a good man. I'm a good man. Dwayne Wade thought he was a good man too. Ain't it funny how far and how fast he fell? Ain't it funny? Just 5 years ago, everybody talking about you, the second best shooting guard ever, hands down. And now you just laugh at him. You just laugh at him now. That's a debate for later. You just laugh at him now. Now you just laugh. Because now all he is now you look at it like he good at basketball and he's just an average black man. Now you like the only thing you good at is basketball because you're not even a good father. Now what became his achievement is something we laugh at him for because he couldn't even be a father to his child and tell his child, no, you can't cut your penis off. No. Like 13. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying he's a teenager.
Like 11.
It's like you said. My son just turned 15, right? I think about 2 years ago, my son called himself smelling himself, and he gonna tell me he not doing no. Something happened where he told me he was doing something, and he not gonna stand there, and he gonna pop. You gonna pop? I got excited. I said, "Yes, this is what I waited for." And I took his slog here because I was about to cut. I took him uptown and showed him the stars and the moons and brought him all the way the hell back down. And I looked at him. I said, "You want to go again? Because I got plenty more in me." He tapped out that time. He ain't want no problems. Yeah, after that, he come to my studio. We had actually somebody else's studio. And his mother there, his uncle there. I'm trying to show him, yo, this is, what your dad does. And this is where I spend my time at when I'm, working.
Mm-hmm.
So he had his hair. His mother let him and his mother has dreads. So I'm telling his mother that's not what we're supposed to do. And that's why I don't have mines anymore. And, I'm showing her the truth and she calls herself teetering, playing. All right. So my son spent most of his time with his mom or whatever. And so I said, "Oh, you got your hair done?" I went to touch his hair. He started acting that feminine stuff. Don't touch me. What? Nigga, that's here. What are you talking about? He started, he got tough twice. Boom, boom. Listen, I ain't put my hands on you. I can do that. I know how to do that. I grew up in the projects. We was taught to do that.
Mhm.
Fight. All that tough stuff that you think you got, chill it out, calm it down. I'm trying to tell you,
Mhm.
getting older. So guess what? It's not gonna be no more. It's no more belt. You done with that. We done with the belt.
Mhm.
You my size. You wear size 11.
Mhm.
I got you. Please. When you ready again, I'm gonna be here. So he called himself one more time trying it. I gave him 2. Boom, boom, and it was over. He ain't went. You know that strain that you feel when you get hit in the stomach and you got to go down. I did one of them to him. We understand each other now. And he said, "I can't wait till you get old. Then I'll pull out my gun and believe I got one." And then his
All right,
mother
let me
took
tell
him
you
to the
something.
gun range.
Let me
I
tell you
said, "I've
something.
been doing this, son." He boasts. I went to the gun range. Hey, let me show you pictures what your dad did. That wasn't in the range. That was in the street. Okay, stop. I did that for fun when I was young. You don't want that with your father. Ask your mother about me. Now he's starting to learn at 15. It's like, beat him, sir. Beat
Yeah,
him.
beat them. Beat them. Like,
Listen, beat
like what
'em.
I'm telling you is beat them. You
Beat 'em.
understand? Like what the ISUPK endorses is beat your child, right? Beat your child. Now you shouldn't don't always body slam them now.
Nah, he needed that.
You ain't always got. I'm saying that
It's
for
a big
YouTube
war.
purposes.
Like,
This is for YouTube purposes. I don't want to get censored.
right,
But I completely understand that the point of what you brought up. It is necessary. They won't die.
right,
Beating your child is necessary and won't die. I did the same thing. I tried my father. I did. I ain't do it again though.
right,
You understand? Beat him. It's necessary. It's 100% necessary. The child will be fine. The child will grow up to love you and grow up to respect you because you didn't just let them do whatever they wanted because it was your child.
right.
You understand? You understand that? Women are children. So it's the same thing. If y'all can understand that, you can understand this. They love you more when you don't let them do whatever you want, whatever they want. Salakia.
Right.
Don't let them do whatever they feel like doing, and your child will love you that much more. All right? Give me my last scripture. Give me Proverbs 6:23.
Oh, I got it. Con. All right. Book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs is of Salakia, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Lamp, light, and all that. That means it's guiding you, right? Commandments guide you. The law guides you. And reproof and instruction are the way of life, meaning correction is literally how you get through life. Do not expect to get through life without ever being corrected. It won't happen. It will not happen. And that is a weak thing. That's a weak thing. I love correction. Y'all should learn to love correction. Learn to love it. Strive for perfection in all your areas. If you choose to do something, perfect it.
Right.
In the process of perfecting it, you're going to have people who are better than you telling you, don't do this, do that. And I remember when I did that, don't do this.
Right.
You understand? And if you taking it to heart, oh man, I know what I'm doing. Oh man, I'm tough. I already know. Then, you ain't tough for one. And then for two, what's going to happen is you're going to fail.
Right.
You will fail. You'll fail. And then the man who you felt like was just overly chastising you and he just hated you, he'll still be succeeding. That's in the truth and that's in everything else in life.
Right.
Somebody try to help you out with whatever the hell you doing in life. And you want to, I got it. I know that's okay. You got it. You're right. You got it. I mean, what can I tell you? Until you fail. Until you fail. And the truth, you don't got it. You understand? You don't got it. I ain't have it when I came in here, and I still ain't got it. I got it, but I ain't got it like how a captain got it or how General Hyman got it. I ain't got it like that. You understand? But I got it. You will always have things you need to learn, and it is important that you don't shy away from chastisement. I can't stress that enough. What I said earlier, do not become a yes man out of fear of confrontation. You can have no fears in the I.S.U.P.K. Zero. You can't fear it. You can't fear a dog. Like you can't fear a dog. You can fear nothing. Nothing. You better not never call me about nothing you fear. Now, if you trying to get over it, I'm talking about the police separate. What I'm talking about is don't call me. The scriptures say don't call a man saying there's a lion in the street. By the time you call me, it should be dead. It should be dead by the time you calling me. We should be laughing about it. We should be laughing about how the lion thought it was going to stop you from coming outside. We should laugh. You understand? We should laugh. There's a video of an alligator running around Florida right now. I said I liked it. Maria damn near lost her mind. I like that. That's why I would kill it. For you know what the first thing that popped in my mind was my hunting knife. That's the first thing that popped in my mind was my hunting knife. Nothing else. I like that knife. I want to try that knife in a spur of a moment. I want to try it. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try that knife. I haven't tried it yet, and I really want to try that knife. I want to see if it cracks alligator skin. I just want to see. You understand?
Right.
Have no fears because correction it's the way of life. It's everything. I tell you about so much I've seen in the truth from brothers being corrected to taking it to heart, from how I've seen men correct other men, and it like God, the fear of God was in me. It should instill the fear of God in you. Brother, I haven't seen Captain Mashak check somebody. He wasn't even checking me. And they put the fear of God in me. I just looked like, the fuck is it? Nah. And I walked off. I kid you not, this was my very first Passover. He correcting somebody. I do not know who it was to this day. I just know it was him and he. And I'm looking at him and I'm looking at the other. And I'm like, oh no. I just walked off. The fear of God got put in me.
Right.
You understand? Got put in me. And to this day, whenever I go to a camp I'm not in charge of, and that roundup circle happened, and the problems of whatever happened gets told, I take it to heart as if I did it, so I can improve, not so I could feel ashamed or I could be in my feelings.
Right.
Like, oh, post was bad. I could have not hold post all day. I could have been in the back of the camp the whole day. Post was bad. I take that to heart. Like, okay, next time you on camp, make sure you swivel. Make sure you're not too stiff. Make sure you're getting off properly. Make sure you're not turning your head when you raise your hand. I take it all to heart. Even corrections that don't come towards me, I listen to them so that I either don't do that mistake or I just learn from the correction.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with some correction. That whole but I'm just saying, I hate that. I can't stand it. I never did it. Please don't do it when you're talking to me. I can't stand that but. I'm just saying, I cannot stand it. I can't tell you how much I can't stand it. It is a sign of weakness. Now, if you feel like you ain't wrong, that's different. But if you know you're wrong, you're still with the but, please stop. Please stop. Please. Because I'm not going to talk all nice because you're saying but. It's going to make me get more aggressive. I don't like that. Just take the correction and move on. We all get corrected. You understand? Now, with that being said, any last second questions or comments? No sweat. I'm in a Israel. Wrap up class. We'll give one courtesy salute. And the Israelite Majim. The Israelite Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahawanna. Leaders and sister along, go with the sister. The Israelite Majim Shabbat. Majim. Barak. Yahawanna. Hands at ease. Dismiss.